Well, it's Remco Evenepoel, winner of last year's Vuelta España, stage winner of the 2023 Vuelta España Stage 3, up here on site on the first summit finish of 10 in this year's edition. Arinsal, after 8.3 kilometers of racing uphill, it's Remco with the deadly, victorious sprint over Jonas Vingegaard, second place by 1 second, and with the bonus seconds, he gained 4 more seconds on Jonas Vingegaard. Remco Evenepoel stage win, and now race leader. Only 3 days into the Vuelta España, he pulls on the Mayo Roja, the race leader's red jersey in the 2023 Vuelta España. Remember, last year he won the race, his first ever Grand Tour to win, world champion to boot last year. This year, time trial world champion, back racing in his road Belgian world champion jersey to celebrate the stage victory, but not without controversy, and we'll get to that. But first, we had an escape of 11 riders go free today. But when we got to that second last climb, the first of 2 climbs, counting the summit finish here at the finish line, the climb of the Ordina, oh well, it was whittled down. We only had 3 riders left. Then 2, it was Camna and Caruso. They had dropped Sepulveda, the Argentine rider. Those 2 riders went on, and then it was only Camna. Camna was the last remaining rider on this climb up here, the Arinsal climb. Never before used in the Vuelta España, and today it would be used well by Remco Evenepoel. The group behind, well, it was being led by Jumbo-Visma. It was Robert Gesink, then Wilco Kilderman, those guys marking the moves early on. We saw the attack of Juan Ayuso, we saw the attack of Marc Soler, UAE Team Emirates riders. We didn't see so much of João Almeida, the other UAE Team Emirates leader on the team. Instead, it was over to Jumbo-Visma and of course over to Remco Evenepoel. Remco Evenepoel had his teammates in there setting him up. Badjoli, Seri, those riders were doing the work for Remco today, but in the final, he was isolated. That's something to keep watch on. Whereas Jumbo-Visma had the numbers. The American Flying Eagle, Sepp Kuss, working so well for Primoz Roglic and Jonas Vingegaard. Primoz, 3-time winner in this Vuelta España overall. Jonas Vingegaard, 2-time winner of the Tour de France, coming in here hot off the heels of his Tour de France victory in July. Well, it was Jonas Vingegaard who had a better set of legs on him today, around the corners, up the bends, and then that final turn. Remco Evenepoel had previewed it recently. We saw his YouTube video, and that would have worked in his favor. He had the kick, had the punch. We saw Roglic, who would normally do well with the kick and a punch type finish on this sort of finish line, but instead it was Jonas that marked the early move up to this finish line here by Remco Evenepoel. Remco knew to stay in the bunch, position himself well for the sprint once they caught the last of the escapees, and he did it, and it worked out perfectly. Arms up in the air, Remco Evenepoel, victory celebration, and then, shortly after the finish line, right over here, disaster struck. He hit one of the Astana team helpers, somersaulted over the air, landed into a metal barrier, hit his head, blood was coming down, landed on his back. We hope he's going to be okay for the stages to come. Of course he said he's okay, but we're going to have to see how this pans out, because that was a hard hit and a lot of blood coming from his head. He was checked out by doctors, stood up, and then celebrated with his teammate the victory with blood still coming down his head. Thankfully, he does look okay. We spoke to him after the stage there, and he said, yes, this red jersey came even earlier than it did in 2022. And he said, yes, they're going to search to try to give away the jersey in the next few days, because it's too early to keep it for the next days to come, next weeks to come. We still have 3 weeks of racing, but today it's Remco Evenepoel on top, celebrating with the win today. He has 5 seconds in hand over Enric Mas, the Spaniard of Team Movistar. A lot of that time from Team Movistar came thanks to their TTT second place result behind DSM. And then the group of the Jumbo-Visma riders with Jonas Vingegaard back at 31 seconds, Primoz Roglic back around 35 seconds in the overall. Jonas Vingegaard sitting 4th place overall. Primoz Roglic a little bit further back. Remco Evenepoel, stage victor, red jersey, stage 3 in the 2023 Vuelta España.